Hey everybody and welcome back. It's time to start the next Kingdom Hearts game, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, using the PS2 and eventually PS4 re-release RE Chain of Memories. I'm responding to you about your email about Chain of Memories. We're gonna get started. I gave you guys a bit of an intro in the previous video with the interlude episode. So we're going to get started. We're going to be playing on standard mode because I feel like beginner will be too much of a stomp, I feel like. And proud, like, I ain't about that life under no circumstances. So let's go. But just this game. Not as good at this game, so definitely not hard. Donald Duck!
Along the road ahead lies something you need. However, in order to claim it, you must lose something that is dear to you.
it's the title card again. This one had a better background, though. The castle. It's green. You want to close the door?
Hey, you think it's okay to barge in?
But we gotta do it if we're gonna find the king.
The king? King Mickey's here?
Something just told me he'd be here, okay?
Really? 'Cause now that you mention it, I was kinda thinking the same thing.
Seriously? Me too. One look at this castle, and I just knew. Our very best friends. They're here.
Yup, guess great minds think alike.
Wait, hey, hold on. It can't be just a coincidence.
Oh no, Timothy. You don't mean that.
Yep, I had it too. I had the exact same feeling.
Gorge, maybe it's contagious.
No, something's screwy. We gotta go take a look.
All right,
Where are you going?
that way, to the door. Are you scared?
Ah, don't be ridiculous. Come on, let's go, Goofy.
Hey, fellers, shouldn't we shut the door behind us before we go? Sora!
That's it. Who are you?
Hi, yes. Oh, yeah? I'll try some magic. Thunder! Come on. Thunder! Thunder! Come on. Blizzard! Fire!
They're so violent.
Why isn't it working?
I should think it's obvious. The moment you set foot in this castle, you forgot every spell and every ability you ever knew. In this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. That is the way in Castle Oblivion.
Castle Oblivion?
Here you will meet people that you have known in the past, and you will meet people you miss.
I miss? Riku! You mean Riku's here?
If what you want is to find him,
Huh? What'd you do?
I merely sampled your memories, and from them, I made this. To reunite with those you hold dear.
Good catch.
What's this? A card?
It is a promise for the reunion you seek. Hold the card to open the door, and beyond it a new world. Proceed, Sora. To lose and claim anew, or to claim anew only to lose.
Come on. Let's go.
That's a door. Look at that door. Oh man, we got an item. Look at that. Look at him walk up the steps, but not really. Look all weird. So changes between KH1 and KH2. Voice actor for Sora, Haley Joel Osment, has grown. So they're applying his KH2 voice, which is a deeper voice. Beating up Ansem the Seeker of Darkness really helped in that growth spurt. Anyway, if you don't know, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories introduces basically one new world, and that's it. Unless you count Castle Oblivion, then it introduces 2 worlds to the entire series. And as a result, a lot of it is rehashing old worlds so that they could, you know, not have to waste older worlds on a Game Boy Advance game at the time. And because it fits in the whole memory motif this game takes. Also, not a lot of the game is voice acted in the world-to-world stuff. It's just genuine dialogue. Just because there's not too much of a need for it, which means I get to commentate a lot more. So, this town is an illusion created by the memories ingrained in the card. Which effectively would mean, oh, then, you know, Sora's reliving his memories of going to the Tarzan world, for example. But they do not put the Tarzan world, they don't put Deep Jungle in this game. It's the one world that is omitted from the original Kingdom Hearts. I believe it had to deal with copyright issues? Or rights issues with Tarzan? I always wondered with it, because people kept wondering why KH1 was never remastered on the PS3 for the longest time, until 2013. And some people speculated, oh, can they not do it because of that? But, I guess it was just too much of a hassle, but the Deep Jungle Heartless do exist in the game. So the law of this castle requires that your friends be transformed into cards. If you value your friends, you won't fail to pick them up. They bounce. Look at Donald Duck. So, game uses the, of course, twin stick movement. You can move around, use the camera with the right stick, and you also have access to cards. Card Combat is the name of the game. No longer is it the 3D arena combat where you just mash the button and then cycle through your magic. Now you're cycling through cards for basically everything. But it is a surprisingly good combat system anyway. If you use party members, like Donald or Goofy, just hitting their card will make them do stuff. The cards you use will vanish, but will reappear to aid you time and time again. They are the hearts of your friends, or the heart of your weapon, in this case, and everything in the castle is ruled by these cards. Whether an enemy or a door confronts you, cards are the only way to proceed, but you mustn't forget your own strength. Which means we can do dodge roll and jump. They are just your natural controls here. There's no real abilities you equip in the game. First, think for yourself. Move, then use the cards. So, we'll move on over to our hooded man and execute attacks. You now know how to use your strength, but it would be of no use if you lose sight of your opponent. I wonder if you can lock on. Lock on has been changed to R2. Why? Because card scrolling is locked to L1 and R1, and it is effectively screwed with me because I'm like, R2? What are you doing? I completely forgot about that. Every move you make causes a card to disappear. If you use up all your cards, you'll be unable to act, but there is a solution. Keep using your cards, and he will be happy to show us the other function. You can also see how many cards we have left on the obvious counter there. You have no more cards. Jesus, I'm dying. You have no more cards and no power, and I'm dying as a fact because I'm losing my power. There is a reload function. using this black numbered card. You can press the D-pad up to instantly go to that card, and then charge it. But as you abuse that, the reload will start to take longer. Now it has a 2 counter, so you'd have to wait for 2 rotations when charging it. It's not that you have to wait, like, until you use something, it's just, it's gonna take longer for that thing to charge. So, for example, I use it's only letting me do this function. It's like, for example, if I held it, it's gonna take an extra 2 or 3 seconds. So, the first category includes attack cards, magic cards, and item cards. Second category is enemy cards. To use cards from a different category, you're going to have to press the touchpad. Enemy cards are buffs. I guess you could basically consider them buffs that have different interesting effects, because they're not going to, you can't use them and hurt anyone. They're useful for various other things. Yo, what's up, Donald Duck? And Goofy. Stop jumping. Why do you got blue socks? I'm more concerned about that. They're like, oh yeah, we have the new clothes. Master the cards and make your way through the castle, but from here you walk alone. He's like, Sora can't go alone. He can't do anything without our help. Please ignore that moment in which, in Hollow Bastion, he did fine without your help. Also, please ignore the time that he faced Ansem one-on-one and dealt with him easily in 2 separate situations. Also, please forget the time that he fought Sephiroth one-on-one and defeated him, and the Ice Titan one-on-one and defeated him. And then, I think I should just hold off here, because I'm gonna fucking shit on Donald Duck. Please remember that the entire plot and antagonist of Kingdom Hearts would be a lot easier if Riku didn't turn to the darkness as a result of Donald Duck being an asshole to him. So, we gotta figure out these cards. And now we get Key to the Beginnings. Key to the Beginnings is one of many gold cards. Gold cards typically are progress cards, I might call them, where they will take you to the next cutscene in the world and the next story progression point. So, this is an overworld. They have changed it so that battles in the game are done in a completely different realm. So it's kind of like Persona and other various games where enemies are on the overworld. You hit them, and then battle is initiated. So, there is that. We can break that barrel, and we found ourselves a card. Picked up Blizzard 5. I'm pretty sure every card you pick up is RNG based, definitely through its number. So it's like, oh man, you found a 5, because numbers do matter quite a bit. We're going to get a tutorial for that soon. And the game wants me to do my first proper combat, so we're going to throw a barrel on that. He's stunned. Hit him. Let's go. Stunning's good if you're worried that you aren't going to be able to deal with an enemy as easily. You know, they're moving around too much. Experience is picked up as a collectible now, and will disappear, so you gotta be quick on it. A couple other items we have. Aside from spells that do exactly what you would expect, and party member cards that do what you would expect, we have potions that reload your cards. I believe they reload your attack cards. A certain amount, depending how potent the potion is. Once you beat an enemy, clear that, you get a card that helps you open the door. So, for example, we picked up Tranquil Darkness over there, and it has a number, and if it fulfills the proper requirement for that door, you can use it to progress. And it also helps determine what type of room it is going to be, how the enemies react, and their behavior, all that good stuff. There's a lot of layers to this, as with the first couple episodes of KH1. I'll have plenty to talk about when it comes to that. To proceed to the next room, we need a map card, which we picked up one from taking out an enemy. And the one that they want us to use here is this blue one, which is Moment's Reprieve. Now, as you saw there, cards marked with a 0 are special. They can override certain requirements. Like this one requires 1 and higher, so we could give it anything from a 1 to a 9. So we activate it, we go through that door, and just like that, we have opened up a save point. That diamond that you saw on the Moment's Reprieve card is what the save points looked like on the Game Boy Advance version, which was the normal save point within a diamond, which is pretty cool. Fun thing to do is to beat up the various things around the area to find collectibles. Beating up lamps and other such objects will yield you HP, because your HP does not max out after a battle. And it also gives you Moogle points, which is going to be very useful to us as we go through the game, because we're going to need it for the various shops that we are going to encounter. We need new cards, and there are people that sell them, or things, as you would expect a Moogle. Heading over here into the menu, we have the various stuff, like we got world cards, so it tells it this will fill up as we continue to play through the game. Map cards, you know, the world map, which will give you an idea of where to go to next. Progress is always denoted by the box that is glowing, because the worlds are separated into these blocked zones. And then review deck. Here's where you can, you know, here's where you can edit your deck and give it the adjustments that you would like. Like, for example, maybe I want to apply Blizzard. And putting a card over another one does not overwrite that card. It just pushes everything forward one tick. So, that's pretty good too. You can name your cards. You can have up to 3 decks. You can name your decks. You have up to 3 of them. You can also do shortcuts. I did not even know about the shortcut feature. Select a card to assign to the shortcut button. Well, I don't think I'll ever use that, because I don't think I can relearn that kind of thing. But, you know, that's nice. Of course, you got your various config here. But that kind of does it. There's no abilities for you to, like, there are abilities to learn. There are slates that we're going to get into, but there are no abilities that you can naturally just go like, alright, let me turn this on, turn this on, turn this on. Same goes for equipment. So next up, we are going to be using Tranquil Darkness. And it makes the Heartless fairly docile. Nothing we really need to worry about. It's, I think, the second safest form of the Heartless when it comes to that. So we're going to enter battle and get into it. The HP bars and general feel for this game is much similar to KH2, I feel like. It's got that weighty movement of KH1, but it feels better. Also, something I'm doing is you can stack cards to do higher damage, but we're going to get into that when we're properly taught it, which I believe is in the next room. Basically, it's an easy way to do combos and ensure that cards aren't broken, which is a feature you have seen a couple of times so far. So I believe we do Goofy, Donald, and a Keyblade, for example, lets us do a special move, which I want to do just because it looks stupid. You cannot defeat our ultimate form unless we can't hit you. Then it's a bit of a problem. Card breaks can be annoying, of like, oh, you played a card higher than me, you disrupted my move, and it can be kind of a hassle. When you level up, you got 3 options: HP boosting, CP boosting, and slates. CP lets you carry more cards of higher rarities because every card has a cost, so it limits you from having a super huge deck with super powerful stuff. HP is self-explanatory. Slates are your abilities in the game. They give you different techniques that you can perform, and we're going to pick one up every time it's available. So with slates, they're not always available. So, for example, now that I picked up, I think that was Sliding Dash, slates will not be selectable for a few levels, and then it'll appear again. They do that to space it out, so every few levels, so long as you keep up with it, you will be gaining new, powerful moves. Which is really cool. I like that idea. So, we're going to be keeping up with it so we can get all the best stuff. Toward the end, there's some really good moves. Though some of the best ones are really bad. Like, they're super strong, but they're so easy to break, which absolutely infuriates me, because this is the first game that introduces something that gets on my nerves in many video games, which is, you know, having your attack disrupted. And it happens quite a bit with this game's mechanics. It's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely somewhere I'm like, God damn it, you know? And picked up another level up, might as well increase our CP, make that a bit better, but we do need HP. We have been caught off guard. This isn't gonna be good. Oh, am I reloading? What am I doing? Maybe I should pay more attention. Did I ever think of that? Get the hell out of here. Oh, boy. Ah, these scamps, they're poisoning the water hole. Oh, thank God Donald's smart. Alright, much better. I spy some experience over there that's fucking gone. And that's the other part that's gonna be like, you need to stay on it, or end up getting mad like me, where you'll lose out on some valuable experience, man. But grinding in Chain of Memories is not hard. You can apply a new map card on any door, even if you've already opened it, and it changes that door. So effectively, you can continue to do that and, you know, give yourselves the perfect grinding spots with certain cards that are filled to the brim with enemies. So for this one, we're gonna need a one of those special doors in addition to a requirement. We're gonna pick Sleeping Heartless 5, and then we're gonna add Key of Beginnings to get the story portion of this world started. Best part of doing Chain of Memories is that video length is always kind of an issue with me. I think the main problem was KH1, just because KH1 is so long in the tooth with its worlds. So, it was hard for me to kind of like format and get a good stopping place for each world. But they do a lot better with the pacing for every game post KH1, so it's much easier to make episodes. This one will be a bit longer because it's the intro, though. But a good thing Chain of Memories does is that I can kind of beeline the plot and get a world done really fast, or I could pace it my own pace. You know, I could do it at my own pace because they give you the cards, and then you can explore a bunch of other rooms, or you could go straight to that big room, which is going to be really easy for me. Remember, this is a created version of this world. Who cares about all that? It's too confusing. Alright, let me give you a little education here, Sora. This is how this conversation just went. You're inside a world created from your own memories, so it effectively is in the past, in your own cognition. Sora's like, who cares? That's confusing. Effectively, Sora then takes that knowledge and goes, Leon, what are you doing here at Castle Oblivion? And then he says, this is Traverse Town, and how do you know my name? To which Sora then responds, what do you mean? See? And he's like, what do you mean? Sora, you were just explained the situation. You were just told. If you wanna know, Sora is dumb as a ton of fucking bricks. In fact, some games he gets dumber if it serves the plot properly. It's... Please. It's like, I can't believe you've forgotten us. Like, you are in the world created from your own memory. You were told it. It is even not as if... It's like, what are you doing? Of course, that's fine. Everything can work out on its own. I'm just kind of going at it from in a perspective of, come on, man. But hey, these are games made for younger people. Some young people, you know, you need to work it in. So the problem is that, you know, ultimately, characters like this, they have a history with Sora, but are struggling to remember him, but then you're in this world of memories, and it adds this little extra thing. One thing that continues throughout all the worlds is that a lot of it has to deal with people's memories. And they also kind of changed the story completely for the Disney worlds, where you'll go in KH1 and go through a certain situation and an overall plot, and they move that around and then throw in memories because, you know, to have it fit the overall thing in the game. Because if there is like an arc theme in Kingdom Hearts, a word, a concept, they need to hammer it in as much as possible. So that's why, you know, darkness, light, heart, those are just used, you know, ad nauseum. That is why memories will, you know, ultimately be used ad nauseum in this game. So, Leon's going to teach us how to do card stuff. Here's how it works. Cards are ranging from 0 to 9. Higher numbers mean stronger cards. If you and your enemy both play a card at the same time, which will happen all the time, highest card wins. And that will result in a card break. So, he is guarding and will continue to play cards that are higher than us. And as a result, he will beat us. Basically, how it works is if you see your opponent playing a card, you can immediately play your card that's higher to take them out. Which means going out first puts you at risk. Whoever's on the losing side of a break is left wide open to attack, so you can take more hits. But cards that are 0 are special. They're a 0 card. And if it's played too soon, if you play a 0 card first, it is the weakest card in the game. If you play it second, it is the strongest card in the game. 0 will basically immediately break the card. So if someone busts out an 8, you just bust out your 0, you win. So effectively, you're always going to want to have a couple of 0s at the top of your deck that you can always throw out whenever a boss is maybe using a super strong combo or something. The next thing he's showing off is stocking cards, which you can do like this. You can also cancel them with L2. And the sum of the 3 cards becomes the value you play. This is also where 0 cards become a lot more potent because, you know, 1 0 card can take out 3 cards that equal out to anything as high as like 27. Doesn't matter. So, you can use the 3 stock cards or you can hit L1 plus R1 to use 1 to 3 stock cards. Use 1 to 3. I get it. That means, like, if you're stocking 3 cards and hit triangle, you will use them as they are, and any ability, any slate that is tied to it. But L1 and R1 together, after you've done that, will just use those 3 cards as they are. Every time you use stocked cards, you lose the first card you picked, and you will not be able to reload it. And the lost card, you know, is just, it's done. But if you end the battle and start a new one, it'll be there. So, Stock cards are powerful, potent, and leave you to using super strong combos. But to keep the game's balance in check, they made it so you lose the first one. For example, you pack 3 blizzards in your deck because you're gonna take on a bunch of enemies and you want that big shotgun Blizzaga that kills everything in its wake. Well, you're only gonna be able to use it once because it's going to get rid of the stocked card. But that's not completely true. You bring an item card, such as an ether for magic, you can get that card back, and that gives you at least one more use. At least that's what my memory is. It's a good way to balance the game and keep you from being, you know, powerful, and it's also a way to teach the player later on, maybe I should conserve things and not go all out, because then I'm going to find myself reloading, and the reload meter is going to be like at 3 eventually, and then you're going to reload into like 2 cards or even 1. And then it's just not fun. You know, teaching through the gameplay. When it comes to a lot of things, I think what I love and adore so much about Kingdom Hearts games and JRPGs in general is that there's so much game to get into. And I feel like a lot, and they also boast these huge, big stories, and they put stories so much into the forefront of the game. We also got 7 out of 4, that's pretty good. They make the game so important. And I feel like with a lot of story games, they give you story with serviceable gameplay, and I feel like Kingdom Hearts offers you a story that your mileage may vary on. There are plenty of people who could not give a shit about the story of Kingdom Hearts and hate it, you know, obviously. But I adore it, and I can see that, you know, many people can take umbrage with the story, but gameplay is there, and I feel like a lot of story-based games just focus on serviceable gameplay to bad gameplay. If you're playing like something like Witcher is, you know, very much praised for its really good story, character interaction, side quests, and, you know, world in general. But I played it, and I thought the gameplay of it was absolutely horrid. Like, I hated the combat, and that prevented me from really caring to go through it that much at all, you know? So I really like how Cage games just have a decent amount of depth, so that I'm not just playing the games for story, because I've played them already. You know, sometimes I'll play them again for story every now and then, or for a video series, but having good gameplay goes a long way for me. Gonna move on to the next area now. Each world has 3 story cards you go through. This will be our second one that'll set up our upcoming fights. Have you forgotten me? I don't know. You belong here. Actually, to be honest, no one really belongs here, because you're in a world that was created as a safe haven for people that were ripped from the worlds they initially belonged to. So, effectively, no one really belongs here. They belong in better places. And of course, since we're basically, with this card, we're traveling to the past, to the beginning, the start point of Traverse Town, but everyone still has their memories of the entire game, so Sora's able to set up that quote that Leon gave toward the end of KH1. I feel like it's a little bit weirder with this world, just because it's a world we've been to, and it's like, hey, don't you remember? So they kind of Sora doesn't really do this for the rest of the worlds, at least as far as I remember. You kind of just go through, because effectively, you know, they give you some story reasons why he doesn't do this every time, and kind of just goes along with it. If I remember, like, he just basically forgets the events of this. The events of him going through his own memories, so it's like, hey, you can relive this without the Aladdin, you don't remember me? That kind of stuff, because that would immediately get old quick, you know? So they kind of use this as a way to teach you all of that. It's like, hey, go take out some Heartless. And then we pick up Key to Truth, got a Heartless symbol, which of course means it's the key to boss fight. So at this point we need a 5 or higher, or a 0. Now, 5 or higher applies for, or not 5 or higher, the 0 in a map card works on everything except for key doors. So we're talking about doors that require a specific card like the Key to Truth. Like, they wouldn't, you know, outrank that. And the one time that they don't let you use a 0 as a cure-all for everything is whenever the requirement is like a 4, but the symbol isn't up or down, it's equal. They want specifically this number, nothing higher, nothing lower, nothing else. And that is where this game can become a bit of a drag when you're playing through it, because it could mean that your game will be a little slower or a little faster. In fact, we are reaching that right now. Because your cards are based on random drops. You will always get a drop from an enemy of a map card, but you don't know what you will get. I believe that there are some rooms where, like a premium room, which can lead to, or there are certain rooms where you can have a chance to get the exact card you want. But typically it is very hard whenever you want to get a 3 to hope you get that 3. That's where another special card comes in called Joker. And the Joker cards are the best because they just override anything. And picking those up can be incredibly useful to get through things quickly. Because toward the end of the game, they're going to give you some very strict requirements and plenty of gateways and roadblocks to getting to the end of a world. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade CP one more time. And did we get a green card? I didn't even look. We did not. Alright, so we're going to have to keep on fighting until we get what we need. Doesn't even look like I have the requirement for sliding dash. There we go. I think it's like 5 to 15. It's like you need to get like a 15 or so, or I think it's 10 to 15 through 3 cards gives you sliding dash. They usually give you requirements in you need to use these types of cards. They need to equal a number ranging from this to this. And that's how that works. I'm gonna pick up some more stuff and a brand new card. Keep on going here. Yellow. Ah, damn it. I was hoping to jump around to confuse them and then, like, nail them with an attack. I don't know if I mentioned it, but KH2 HP meters are here too, which is the standard now, which is the, just the green bar with a kind of like a dot or a little node below it to denote enemies that have higher health bars than just, you know, anything beyond 1. Which I think is better than just having a health bar that has extra colors on it as you go. Though I did kind of like how it looked in Beautiful Joe, but this definitely looks a lot better. Keep it uniform to the look that even your player characters have of just a green health bar. And it's that nice, good, vibrant green with a little bit of a gradient look to it. In fact, I think Chain of Memories was the first one to introduce it, I think they had green health bars in that. Actually, brain's starting to come off and saying that I'm crazy. Alright, first of all, you're also going to see me get mad about Donald Duck a lot. So, Donald cards are completely random on what they're going to do, same with Goofy. But Donald uses spells, so sometimes Donald will use a spell against an enemy that will heal them because it's the wrong one, like Blizzard on a Blizzard enemy. He'll heal you twice in a row like he just did to piss me off. There's a lot that Donald can do to get umbrage with me. But Now that I'm remembering it, Chain of Memories actually did not have just one green meter with nodes. It had, I think it turned blue and then I think yellow? I think? Yeah, but it did have color changes, but it went for more bright colors because it couldn't do the darks. It couldn't do dark colors as much, I think, on health bars, because there's always the risk that you're playing on a GBA. And I think that came out before the GBA SP, which had black backlight on it. So you were going to have a hard time seeing certain things. So bright, vibrant colors, I feel like, were a better way to go with that. That said, can you believe that we used to have, like, video game systems that didn't have a backlight? It was just insane. Like, I remember when the GBA SP came out, it was kind of like this revelation of like, oh my god. Just this moment of, I can see everything. I can play my video games at night, you know? I can turn off a light and still, like, open up a system and play a game. But then the GBA SP, which I did not remember until recently, didn't even have, also Goofy Tornado level 3. Stacking multiple of the same friend card gives you, boosts, by the way. I did not remember until recently that the GBA SP did not have a headphone jack. Some would say that's courageous, apparently, but that is insane. It's sad because I was thinking about picking one up recently, like, maybe I could pick up one of those illegal flashcard things and, like, play a bunch of ROMs on it. Because I love the feel and look of an SP, but, no headphone jack's kind of a killer for me. I guess I would be more hard-pressed to pick up the Game Boy Micro, because that was sweet. I never had one. It was kind of like that last revision for that machine. They're also going through that same memory shit again, so nothing to really talk about there. Like, that was like the last revision for the Game Boy. So the Game Boy Micro, just make it smaller, fill the needs, have that backlight, have that headphone jack. I think it did. I don't see a lot of people talk about that machine. Always wanted to have it. Feel like we're experiencing that again, because Nintendo really likes making hardware revisions that are the final version of this machine while our next machine is on the market. Because you'd have, like, the NES eventually had the top loader. The Super Nintendo had the smaller version with the oval buttons instead of the rectangular ones. N64 didn't get anything. GameCube didn't, but then you'd have Game Boy versions of stuff that would eventually, you know, get that, like the Game Boy Micro, DS. There were several revisions of that. The Wii did. We got the Wii Mini, which removed a lot of features like online and stuff, but it was smaller. And we've recently gotten that with the 3DS. The 3DS announced, time of recording, like a week ago, that they were coming out with this new 2DS XL, which a lot of people are getting mad because it's like, you gotta focus on the Switch, which, again, I'm someone who actively boos whenever a new 3DS game gets announced. But even I can see, like, they need to do this, you know? That system's still selling, even though they have the Switch, which is also a portable, as well as a main console. But it's just the natural thing that they would do. It is the final hardware revision for that machine. It's like its final form. And its final form looks nice. Like, that new 2DS, even though I'm not chomping at the bit to play 3DS games, I'm like, I kind of want to own that just because of how nice it looks. You know, maybe later on down the line, once, you know, once it gets even cheaper than its $150 price point. Now, moving on, let's talk about the game at hand once again. We're taking on our first boss, which is Guard Armor. And same rules as Guard Armor over in the original game, which is 5 parts to it that we need to take down. He's playing a bunch of cards, and, you know, we just gotta focus on taking out its various pieces. Gonna get our heals in. One thing we can do, though, that's different is there are Mickey Mouse cards. They're basically your great equalizer. Playing them will do something to the boss or the area that makes it super easy for you to just lay waste to them. We also got away with playing like a slate that was 2, that's whole value was 2 there. I'm pretty surprised. But so far we've taken out its legs, or we've taken out his arms, so now we get to take out the legs. Alright, now that we've taken out the arms and the legs, we just have his chest piece, and it's just, you know, same old song and dance. Try and... Okay, well, there's nothing I could do in that situation. It's kind of locked into reload, and that, you know, that kind of happened. I was reloading, did not actually expect him to deal that much damage. That's just, you know, them's the breaks. And got him. Decided to cut out my second attempt just because it was gonna make the video a lot longer than it needed to be. Might as well save you and me the extra grief and time. Picked up a level up though. Feel good about that. I'm dead. Oh, that was bad. Overall, not much different, but I'm still kind of getting my bearings again, just because the entire idea of an enemy's entire attack cycle, like guard armor spinning or slamming down, can all just be cancelled with a 0 is very interesting. One more CP boost, and we're going to focus on health from here on. I'm also going to start adjusting my deck soon, make sure it's properly, you know, built by me instead of using the starter deck. Well, we're gonna go have to find our friend in this castle. Hint, he may not be in a world that you've already explored that has a preset story. You know. You know. Alright, let's go to the 3rd district, I guess. You can go look at that Lady in the Tramp sign. Oh no, we need to talk. Yeah, our memories made the town. That was cool. Why are you arguing this? Wasn't that kind of a given? Like, this is a world created from your memories, so everything's just a memory. It is just, we're going into worlds that have already existed, so everything we do here doesn't actually change, because you're just in a world in your mind, so the only thing you would change is your own, you know, you would just have more memories of this. But then could you also, like, go into the memories that you had of your memories of going in here? Like, could they make, like, a Kingdom Hearts game where Sora is training for KH3, and to do it he must go inside the memories that he obtained of that were based on his memories of going through KH1. Like, I feel like if they could do that and give you a good reason and then sell it, they're never going to do that, but they could do that and just make people go like, man, fuck this. Aerith basically going, hey, watch out. This plot may or may not be about your memories being used against you for evil things. And apparently Sora was the only one that saw her, so, you know, who was talking to Sora? It doesn't matter. They're all his memories, so it's all shit. Anywho, We get Conqueror's Respite, or as I would like to call it, Respiti. And we've completed the first world of the game. Can pick up, you know, some points, some random items here, beating on various parts of the map. It's quite needed. Get to the top here, hit up a save point, and end the episode with that. We're going to do a floor every single episode of the castle, and this was the first one. We got some fun stuff to do in the next episode. Hope you enjoy it. I generally find the first episodes of these types of games pretty boring. Excited to jump into the flow of the other ones as we go, because it's only up from here. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.